Busy on my saxophone there. Hey, Chad, it's been a while. How you doing?
Oh man, I was jamming out to that countdown music. That was kind of like some smooth jazz. Sounded good. I am great. I am
I
great.
know
It's been a
Everton.
while since I've been on Follow Everton. I'm still here, still with you. Haven't given up on the Toffees yet, but it's good to be with you, Chris. How you been?
Yeah, doing good. I'm enjoying the festive season. I'm out uh, in a little beach resort. So my Airbnb, I'm in a sort of like an Airbnb setup. So my audio is a bit funny, but having a grand old time here in Australia. Wishing everyone who's listening along a good Christmas and New Year's and whatever you choose to celebrate. How are you doing?
Oh man, I don't know. Dude, life is insane. Life's crazy, but you know what? That's how you kind of got to make you just that's what it is. You just get through every day until someday you don't have anymore. But yeah, it's good. I got busy with the family and all that stuff, but it's all good. Christmas was wonderful. I have so many questions about Boxing Day since we don't celebrate it here in the States, but so many questions. But yeah, it's been a good season. So worst Christmas, Peter. Why is it the worst Christmas ever? I need Peter.
Well, you know
I
who
need
may
to
have had the worst Christmas ever? Everton, because we do not have, by the way, a Jack Grealish today. So we're about as paper thin as we
uh,
can maybe imagine, huh?
you want to get into it? Let's talk about the side
No.
because we can't. I think we have to be really clear about where we are right now. This is a bottom of the table side. This is a team with this is what we've had to deal with for the past several years, where we've had
Yeah.
absolutely no depth, little quality, and the manager is just pasting it together from scraps and spare parts. It's essentially, you know, like someone trying to build a wardrobe on the cheap. So yeah, I see this. This is depressing. Pickford, O'Brien, Tarkowski, Keane, Mikalenko. I think we all knew that that's how we were going to start. Irabunum, Garner. Okay, that's same from last time out. And then Dibbling, Alcaraz, McNeil, Beto. This is my first time seeing this. I am absolutely shocked. What are we thinking here, Chris?
Well, I mean, I'm not shocked, honestly. I think we lack squad depth, and the second, I'm not sure Grealish looked in shape the last match. I'm not saying he looked out of shape, but if the second you lose him, now we are looking even more dire. We didn't look terrible against that Arsenal, but we didn't have that midfield punch. So yeah, we're effectively at about our weakest point. But you know what? It could be worse. We could have like O'Brien, the likes of Pickford out of the squad. We could be one midfielder short. We at least have the likes of Merlin Roll and Barry as bench options. I'm really pulling at straws, but we could be in Burnley scenario where they are. I mean, they're probably very excited to play. If there's any time to play us, it's probably right now with our squad depth. But our team is the team that's coming on. Then I'm not sure they're bottom of the table. Let's be honest. Wolves are having a terrible season. Burnley aren't doing a whole lot better. Maybe it's comfortably a bottom 15 squad at if for a starting lineup, but it's not terrible. Look, we have depending on who plays us, Pickford in goals is still exceptional. Tarkovsky and Keane are still comfortably mid-table. Mikalenko's has had his time in the sun. O'Brien had a rough week, but he can perform unless it's against excellent wingers testing him like he had against Arsenal. And then you say in the middle, James Garner's had a good season. Eric Boonham's been hot and cold. In all honesty, it's a great opportunity for Tyler Dibbling, Charlie Alcaraz, and Blake McNeil, with a bit of a surprise, I suppose, in Beto, but players that want to prove themselves and they have an opportunity maybe today.
Chris, not to be argumentative, because I love you, but I'm gonna argue with you because you're completely wrong here. This is a championship side. Look at these names on this list. Pickford is the only player worth a damn on this team. Outside
Okay,
of
you don't think
brief
James
moments,
Garner's done it right this season? Honestly,
not
I
no.
think
I think he's a.
I
I
think
think
James
he's a.
Garner's gone up
We.
a
I have
level.
so many things to say about James. James Garner is a quality player. He is amazing squad depth on a top side. He is also playing out of position. James Garner is a right back playing center mid. And when that's the case, and he's surrounded by this level of talent, James Garner is not a floor raiser. There are floor raisers, and then there are people who just kind of blend in to. Can we get the lineup up? There are just kind of people.
Yep.
There are people who just blend into the background. James Garner is not a ceiling raiser, a floor raiser, however you want to think about it. James Garner is a blend into the side kind of player. I mean, Charlie Alcaraz couldn't. I love Alcaraz. I thought he would have a bigger place in the team this year. Charlie Alcaraz couldn't start on his team in Brazil. David Moyes doesn't think anything of him here. He has struggled from this point so far this season. I have lots of takes because I haven't been on a while, so you might just have to let me cook. But Tyler Dibling, Tyler Dibling would be in the championship right now if Everton hadn't purchased him. McNeil should be in the championship right now. Beto should be in Italy. Tim Irabunam is a developmental player. Not there yet, shows flashes. We had a long conversation on Tim Irabunam. You never really know what you're going to get out of him. And I mean, Jake O'Brien playing out of position. Vitaly Mikolenko, not Premier League level. Michael Keane, we've been trying to push this guy out the door for years. Having a nice season, but still, Michael Keane has a ceiling. James Tarkowski on the wrong side of 30 at this point. It's still very solid, capable of making the strongman, boneheaded plays from time to time. I'm worried. I'm worried about this team. This should be an easy 3 points for us, and this feels like a 0-0 draw to me.
Yeah. When we watched Everton against Arsenal, Everton huffed and puffed and was strategically outdone, and lacked that cutting edge. And another one of those sharp instruments is on the shelf, let's say. So outside of Charlie Alcaraz, who has his moments, Dwight McNeil, who we haven't seen a whole lot of it this year, to be honest, and maybe James Garner through the middle, Eric Boonham causing, if he has a good match, he could really basically cause turnovers high up the pitch and be exciting. He's been really good chasing or turning over the ball. So if we win balls in high areas, James Garner or Charlie Alcaraz, maybe Tyler Dibling all of a sudden gets his Southampton flash in the pan confidence from previous seasons. But yes, is it a 0-0 kind of result? Maybe. But I will say Burnley are better at home. So I am slightly concerned, as I think a few people are on the stream here, that, and I think Peter Duggan's one is worth talking to. I don't think this team beats Burnley. I'm afraid no creativity and no composure in the final third. We're basically relying on Alcaraz and Garner to pull a rabbit out of the hat. And I would say, unfortunately, you could also add McNeil and Dibling to that.
Yeah, Peter's exactly right. I'm really concerned about I'm concerned about the way we line up today. Where are the goals coming from? I can see Alcaraz maybe pushing the pace a little bit. This is what concerns me about Charlie Alcaraz, and he's going to be playing the 10 today. As I was really hopeful for him coming into the season, I think we all like the way he gets up the pitch. I think he likes to drive with the ball. It seems like he's capable of a decent finish. Certainly a good header from the 10 position. I think he heads the ball like a 9. But there's so much missing in his game right now. He's not capable of scanning and turning away from pressure. Makes really silly mistakes. Slips constantly trying to track back and gets out of shape. Regularly is playing the ball back as far as to Pickford. Something is going on with Charlie Alcaraz, because this is not the same player that we saw last year. I think he is devoid of confidence. I think he doesn't know where his place is in this team right now, and he knows he has a manager that doesn't believe in him. So now we're looking at a situation where we have to play Burnley in a game where we really need these 10 points to stay in the top 10. And he knows he's going out there to play the most key position on the pitch without a manager that believes in him. It's concerning, and he's also surrounded by players of less quality. Dwight McNeil has looked absolutely terrible, and he has not been fit all season. I don't know what is going on with Dwight McNeil. And Beto has a very limited way by which you can play with him, and that is to play in balls from behind, let him run onto something, and that's really all he's capable of doing. His hold-up play is non-existent. He doesn't really run the channels all that well. He doesn't link up. He's very, very limited. I'm concerned about this team. Please talk me off the ledge, Chris.
Well, if I'm talking you off the ledge, some positives here. You were worried about us needing 3 or even 10 points potentially in this match. Look, we've had some dire results and desperately devoid of points in possession at this time of the year before. I'm not saying we should be lax and take the foot off the pedal, but we're not in a desperate situation right now, which means, yes, we need the points. We know we're trying to rebuild and build and get in squad depth. Dwight McNeil isn't where we need him to be, but we also need players that may not be similar to the manager that's now at Nottingham Forest, that was formerly the Everton manager. Talked with a deep voice, not like mine. That didn't give a lot of players like the O'Briens positional opportunities because they weren't experienced enough. Moyes has a similar scenario here, and basically we had a really effective attacking front three. Striker is not one of those three I'm referencing, but the three attacking midfielders behind him in the wings with the likes of Jack Grealish, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, and Iliman Ndiaye all out, meaning the likes of our second fold. There's an opportunity for them, even if they're not given the confidence. You know what? I think Charlie Alcaraz, you can challenge him, but he is a fire starter. He may not always be organized and have a consistent possession to him. You say he gets moved off the ball, gets spun around a little bit, but this is the kind of match where he should be able to show his class against a relatively defensively minded Burnley squad that will be expected to come out against what looks like a weakened Everton squad. They're expecting a result. Charlie's a counter-attacking football. This would be kind of the game where there'd be a lot of space for him, to me, to break through the challenges. I think he would pair up better with Keanu Barry than Beto, who, if Beto's to score, it is a header from about 6 yards out, and he might win the physicality battle. So you're relying on set plays only. And if you want the positive, maybe it's that Dwight McNeil delivers a good ball to him and we have tall lumber. But I'm not overtly optimistic today, but I'm also not pessimistic because I'm not optimistic about Burnley.
That's the hope, right? I mean, we are playing a team that is certainly going to be relegated this season. So I guess they are more shit than we're shit today. So I will take a shit off between Burnley.
Yeah, basically, do you choose, I guess, blue or burgundy, right, Chad?
Did I cut off a little bit? I might have cut off.
Yeah, I think that was me on my what do you call it, Airbnb Wi-Fi here, but effectively,
okay. So anyway,
you prefer blue or burgundy on your color of excrement on the result. I prefer blue, but we'll see what the what the festive season gives.
So I was trying to say that I love Charlie Alcaraz like a child. This are like a son of mine. But the funny thing about having kids is that you can see clear as day like what their faults are, the things that frustrate you endlessly, but you can't help but like be like, well, that's him. I love him for it. Like that's I'm gonna take it for what it is, and we're just gonna keep on pushing on. And I think we need a really, really great Charlie Alcaraz game today because we are going to see Dwight is going to do what Dwight does. Hopefully he's playing on the left. It would appear he's going to be playing on the left. So we've seen this show. He's gonna run his bollocks off. He's gonna get crosses in on his left foot, and then we're gonna see if Tyler Dibbling has any real quality. So to me, it's going to be, is Charlie Alcaraz going to be able to push the I don't know, the ambition of the team forward? Is Dibbling going to show any moments of quality? And it's James Garner and Tim Arabunam going to be able to break up play enough to give us those opportunities to put our foot on their throat.
Yeah.
What does Burnley's lineup look like? I haven't seen it. Do you have it?
I will. You can talk to it because you know what? I know
I
the
won't know
Burnley
anything about
squad like the back of my hand. Let me
it.
get
No,
the
I know Brune Larson. I don't. This is the pitfalls of having to
give
follow
me a second.
so
My
much
screen's
football.
going to be funny. Sorry, I'm trying the laptop's been a bit difficult with me here, so apologies. I'm trying to get my screen to move us away, and that's not really doing too well. Maybe you can help
Yeah.
me out, Chad, with the
No,
graphic.
I'm not logged into like the regular account. I'm in as a guest, so I don't think I have the same kind of controls that you use. But
All right.
I think we have our own friend Broja there, Armando
Mhm.
Broja, however the hell. I think there was always debate on how to say that
Mr.
right.
Broha.
Yeah, you know he's gonna score. He's gonna score a hat trick on us today. But yeah, we'll be very curious to see how we look against a team that we should be able to impose our will on.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I know very little about this Burnley side. I have not watched them only in fleeting moments this season. So if there's anyone in the comments that can give us any insight into the way Burnley stacks up today, please do. Yeah, we'll just
Yeah.
see.
I'm
We'll
just
see how it looks on the
hiding the
field.
camera settings on my laptop here, but I'll try and get our audio visuals back up in a sec.
That's okay. I have
But
a
yeah,
question for Kevin.
basically,
It's
yeah.
Kevin Kraft. Are you the same Kevin Kraft they ask? They always have questions from on the Royal Blue podcast with like Joe and I kind of diverted away. Chris looks like he might have lost his internet again. All right, we're gonna let Chris come back in on his bad Airbnb Wi-Fi. Let me scroll through some of these comments and see what everyone is feeling about the way Everton is set up today. Blame Moyes for lack of confidence. That's of course connected to Alcaraz. Alcaraz and Dibbling should come into their own right now. I completely agree with you, Kevin. They seem like they probably have the most quality out of any of our attacking players. So I would say Alcaraz and Dibbling are the ones that have to shine today. Chris, I'm just kind of monologuing while you were getting sorted out.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I realized something about the settings, so I reset, and now I can really show the graphic properly. So I will say you were bringing up the line about seeing everything right in front of you, but you can't help them get across the line. I guess it's, if I'm to play on that analogy, you have to open the door and someone comes through it, and the door has been opened by the likes of hamstring injuries and AFCON and wherever Grealish is at right now, meaning you have Dwight McNeil, Tyler Dibbling, Beto in this case starting, Charlie Alcaraz, and Merlin Roll, and even Tim Eric-Burnham to some effect, all with an opportunity to prove that they should be part of the Everton future after a few more transfer windows where we kind of migrate on from the old squad. This is a time to prove we want to keep you here long term.
Oh, Kevin's asking me to type his name into Google's AI. I feel like that might be. I feel like
that sounds
there's
dangerous.
I feel like there's a
Don't do
joke
it,
here that I
Chad.
don't know about. I don't know. I don't know, Kevin. I don't know. It feels like that might take me down a dark
Everyone
place.
loves Kevin and everyone loves Raymond. Yep.
everyone loves Kevin and Raymond. Yeah. Chris, what are your general thoughts? I feel like we've kind of talked about the way Everton is set up today, and I've been able to vent some frustrations. I haven't had a chance to talk to you in a while. So, what are your general thoughts on how the Toffees have looked to this point? I know we're miles ahead of where this team was at this time last year. Kind of curious where you think they are right
now. Having Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Oh, okay. I'll put it this way. Defensively, we're fine. At times, the good squads are showing up the likes of Michael Keane and Tarkovsky for lacking pace at the back. So we have to always play either a high line and hope that Pickford is kind of playing keeper sweeper, which is a huge risk, or we play a bit deeper and let the opposition come to us because we don't trust our leg speed until Branthwaite comes back, so that we know that's a problem. But Michael Keane, for what we know he's capable of, has actually exceeded all expectations this year. But he is not the future at the same time. Mikolenko has been fine. I think him pairing with Grealish has actually been really helpful. Mikalenko is a little bit calmer on the ball. He's still not a consistent deliverer going forward, but at times he has tried. He through David Moyes has been charging up that side, so it hasn't been terrible. But again, like I would love to see something different from there. James Garner to me has probably been one of the highlights of the season from the starting lineup from the previous seasons. I've wanted more from him, gumption in the midfield, and I think he's starting to do that. But he's also basically can't take him out of the team sheet. He can go left back, right back, but also says if he's a starting midfielder and he's going to right back, we know we've got problems if he has to go to right back. The real change this year is Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, Jack Grealish, and Illiman and Jai all been in the starting lineup and firing at the same time in certain matches and giving us an outstanding attacking portfolio with 3 players. Granted, you want more than that, but that's 3 players we weren't used to seeing at the same time hitting it. Yeah, otherwise, it was just Illiman and around moment.
I agree with you. Like we do seem far more competent from an attacking standpoint, but we're also one of the lowest scoring sides in the entire league. So it's
like Beto and Barry can't score.
Yeah, but this is like you give a what is that? You give a starving man a cracker or something. Like we're just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I have a goal. A goal. What is that? A goal from a non-set piece? What? These say that I didn't know this was available to us. That's what I think.
Well, we can still score set pieces, you know. Now, I will say Tarkovsky is not scoring from set pieces. Michael Keane is.
He's not. I've been really impressed with the overall level of quality from Grealish and Dewsbury Hall, and of course Ilman and I feel like he's even be able to show it a little bit more this year, just because we've had the ball a bit more from game to game. Yeah, the opportunities haven't been there for the striker. Well, there have been opportunities there for the strikers. I would say they're getting incredible service. And the team's been solid. It's completely remarkable that we've been as high as 5th and 6th in the table in recent weeks. And there are teams that spend so much more money than us. Newcastle, for instance. Newcastle are dreadful, even though they walloped us. Newcastle are dreadful. They're a bottom half team right now, and they don't look like they might move out of that. It's really remarkable. Anyway,
outside of maybe the bottom 4 and the top 3, it's a completely open league, and that includes Liverpool. So you think, okay, get 3 wins together, and you come from, oh, we're looking like a relegation squad to, oh, you're feeling like we're, back in Europe. So it's a result-based business, and right now, it's a very packed league, which is fantastic, actually. That's how packed it is, but that also means that a lot of clubs, Newcastle included, are inconsistent week in, week out. Aston Villa started the season terribly, and now they've gone on a streak and are arguably in the hunt for winning the title. And so it is really interesting how competitive this league is this season, and it seems like it goes in peaks and troughs. Like Bournemouth were hyped. Now they've kind of fallen off a bit. Brighton are kind of just there this season and not doing a whole lot. And Sunderland have been a surprise pack. So the fact that Sunderland can come in from, and even, I suppose, to some effect, lead with our old mate DCL, able to actually kind of shake up the status quo in the Premier League, it's there for the taking if we can take it.
I hope. Maybe this will just be one of those magical years where we go on a run of really good play and something good happens. Maybe we qualify for Europe. That'd be incredible. Yeah. I think doing that would launch this team forward. Just maybe a different revenue potential that could open up and maybe let us spend a little bit more, increase the quality of the side. I think it's been a really fun year to date. I'm really disappointed in the quality of our fullbacks. You could jump on a million different Everton podcasts and shows, and they're all saying the same thing. It's just not. It's not good enough. I don't understand how that wasn't addressed in the summer. So there's some frustration for me in that. And I know we tried with Kenny Tete, but why are we spending 12 million on Adam Asnew and 38 to 40 or whatever the Tyler Dibling number is, buying Alcaraz out from, there was a I guess, the option, right, to buy Alcaraz out.
Buy
We're
out
spending
Chris.
money on people that our manager does not seem to want to play. So that's a little concerning. I feel like I was told that, this new setup, the director of football model is out. This new kind of committee or council setup is going to bring more harmony and uniform decisions amongst the decision makers at Everton. And now we are still in a position where it looks like there are players sitting on the bench that David Moyes doesn't want to play. So I'm hoping in January there is some money to spend. David Moyes has been very coy about maybe we'll make incremental changes to the side. Paddy Boylan wrote recently there could just be maybe one or two coming in January. I really hope that we can be a little bit more ambitious than that and fill out this squad.
Yeah, well, I'd have to do a thorough deep dive, which, let's be honest, I'm not sure you and I have the time at the moment with other commitments going on. But you'd say if we're going a full-on rebuild is expensive, but I am feeling the squad progressing season by season, and as long as we are managing the contracts, and I'd have to look back at the Charlie Alcaraz comment, the gas pipe, if he's on, but we know James Garner, I think Vitaly Mikalenko, probably Idrissa Gana Gay, James Tarkovsky, and maybe, and then of course Jack Grealish if we bring him in on perm. There's quite a few question marks on what we have going on, and in the transfer window. Look, I think there's a few people that were so drastically poor in squad depth right now. We can only move people on if we have a replacement, and until that happens, the likes of a Dwight McNeil can't go anywhere. Mikalenko is not going anywhere unless you truly get a ready-made, Moyes approved starting left back, and that's not Asney right now. I think from a strike perspective, at the moment, unfortunately, anyone else will do. I can appreciate the heart and determination, but not the finish right now from either of Beto or Barry. And I'm actually quite even with. I like Charlie Alcaraz. I think Diblin is a good option, but we just need to break him out of his shell a bit. A lot of these players, you'd say, the second they score a goal or two, it makes a world of difference. I think I'm expecting at some point here. It didn't work against Arsenal. I think that was because Barry was isolated. Barry could well hit the ground running. The problem is all of his feed, which in this case was Iliman and Jai, are all away or injured right now. So it's this weird period where we're holding our breath until AFCON's done. Grealish is back and fit. Dewsbury Hall's hamstring is feeling a bit better. But we also have an opportunity right now with a schedule that's quite reasonable, and we don't have the squad to take advantage of it. So grab points when we shouldn't be disciplined, scrape through and don't do anything stupid and get points instead of throwing away results. But I guess buckle down and give these people that are on the fringe an opportunity to prove themselves and let them play.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in a way this fixture is perfectly timed because our squad is as depleted as it has been and it's going to be. So maybe this is the time to play the second worst team in the entire league.
As long as you get results. If you don't get a result today and then only lose 1 or 2-0, what was it? Yeah, if you lose 1-0 to Arsenal and 1-0 to Burnley, I'd rather win 1-0 to Burnley and lose 3-0 to Arsenal and get 3 points out of it. But it's a bit of a, you can only be so particular.
So there's some comments being thrown in the comment board right now about our spending, and there's some frustration I think from a lot of Evertonians, and I feel it as well as why can Nottingham Forest come into the league and spend like they have and face very little consequence? I think they get a point deduction last year, a very minor one.
They did.
And then look at this year with Sunderland. Sunderland spent big over the summer, not all on one main player. It wasn't an Alexander Isak kind of signing, but they had lots of signings all in that Tyler Diblin range. What is preventing Everton now in this new stadium? We see the partnerships that we announce all the time. I think there was a new German company that Everton is now has a new sponsor. Where's the money? Why are we not able to spend money on players that want to join this team?
That would be a great question for the likes of an Angus Kinnear, because there must be reasons. If I was to give the best defense benefit of the doubt, they're trying to not splash the cash, win a transfer window, and come up with something more smart and sustainable. And at the moment, if Moyes is in, if he's not the same direction as Angus Kinnear, but Angus Kinnear is in for the long haul and Moyes is in until his contract ends, you want to find some happy medium while also saying the club is getting better as a result of these players. I don't think Adam Asner was a bad purchase. I don't think Dibbling is a bad purchase, maybe expensive, but these are players with the highest ceilings. We just have to figure out how to actually get a lot out of them. And maybe it's we're just demanding results now, instead of thinking about it in a holistic big system. Instead of if we don't get results now, we're going to blow up the ship and get mad again. Mm-hmm. At the moment, we are doing better than we were last season, and we are progressively feeling more optimistic. And as long as that continues, and these youth players we're bringing in are getting better, that's great. But we want to not have to buy the likes of a Dibbling or an Asnu. We want them internal. We want the Roman Dixons to be in the Asnu positions, and we can sell them off or have them come into the starting 11 instead of having to purchase our youth. Branthwaite was a perfect exception, bringing him in from Carlisle. That won't often happen. And it also asks questions of Armstrong. Also, I would love to see, and it may not happen, but Merlin roll today. He came in a bit rusty. It seemed a bit isolated with a heavy touch, but he could certainly play an influence today. And I'd like to see him come on at 60 minutes.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he would have started today if he was fit. I don't think he's capable of playing 70, certainly not 90 minutes. So, yeah, I think he'll be a second half substitution depending on how we look and where we need some of the reinforcements. I think Moyes is not shy about playing him out of the midfield. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays on the right, coming in for Tyler Dibbling. I would be surprised if he plays deeper, if Tim Arabunam is struggling today. Not a lot of options. But I think David Moyes will try to hopefully get creative with what he has.
Do you think we'll have two goalkeepers at any point just to shake things up?
What was I listening to? I was listening to the Royal Blue podcast last night, and they said that this team is actually could be in a position where we get Iliman Ndiaye and Idrissa Gana Gueye back from AFCON. Kieran Dewsbury Hall's hamstring gets better. Jared Branthwaite is fit and able to play. Jack Grealish's hamstring is better. Plus maybe a couple of the additions in January. And we could be in a position in just a few weeks where we have a real squad again. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm hoping that it does happen this year, but we all know there are ups and downs. Somebody else is going to get hurt, I don't know. We'll see how they look today. I'm hoping for
it happens to everyone.
1-0. Yeah, it does.
If I was doing my best Paddy Boylan, it would be something like, well, that's just football, isn't it? And you're like, well, yeah. And effectively, so many players get injured. You need squad depth. If you can't afford it, you want to have a good starting 11. We do, for the most part, have a good starting 11. We have a couple holes for it to be let's say a top 6 starting 11. One of those is right back. One of those is a starting striker. Maybe a left back. But if Jared Branthwaite and Jake O'Brien are your two centre halves, you have Idrissa Gana Gueye with James Garner in the middle there. You have Dewsbury Hall, Iliman Ndiaye, and Grealish as your three there. That's quite a formidable squad. The question becomes if anyone's injured, anyone goes away on break, or if we ever get to the point of Europe, you need a stronger squad. But look, we're not there yet. But I'm still excited about where the project's going. We can get bad weeks. We can have good weeks. We lost to Arsenal. We're playing Burnley this week with a depleted squad. Let's see how these guys do. And I think that's where I'm at. I'm going to say, from a prediction, my laptop's running out of juice here, so I'll charge it for the game. But I'm thinking 1-1 is where I'm seeing this today.
Okay, I love it. I'm going to go. I think the traveling Toffees give us a boost. I think we have the best away fans in the entire country. I can hear them loud and clear on my television. I'm going to say a 1-0 and a Tim Arabunam lucky goal. But I'm gonna say a 1-0
shot
Everton.
with deflection and a bit of wet weather or something. Yep. Roy Nixon had a 2-0. Rob Sutton had a 3-0. So there's some positivity, some Christmas blues in there. So
Chris, real quick before you have to go, would you bring back Harrison Armstrong?
Unless he's starting, no, because I see by the time he comes back, we have Dewsbury Hall back, we have Charlie in the wings, and Merlin Roll ready to play. So unless you truly think he's going to replace them and you're going to bench everybody else, is it really worth it for 2 weeks? That's my problem with it, and it's a bit iffy. I would love him to play, but is he going to start or is he going to get more than 15 minutes off the bench? No. On a week like today, absolutely. But is this a freak scenario versus what you expect the second half of the season? I don't think so. So if he was playing and starting more often, yes, but I can't see him starting enough to be warranted to get minutes. But I think he's Premier League worthy. But we have a lot of people in that awkward, ready to play on the bench, fighting for 5 minutes for Moyes right now position.
Yeah, I think he deserves an opportunity to show himself, just as Charlie Alcaraz has gotten those opportunities in recent weeks. Tyler Dibling looks like he might be set for a great audition. I think I would say if David Moyes is looking around and he's realizing he's not going to be able to address right back in January, then I think you have to make the move. And you move Garner full time to right back.
And then Armstrong comes in, then maybe. Sure.
Armstrong comes in.
But until then, that's a big hook to pull until that's decided.
The one thing I've not heard mentioned on any of the podcasts or shows that have discussed this is what it does to Preston. What kind of position are we in as a club, relying on, partnering with Preston on the development of our most important asset, arguably our most important asset, and then pulling them back in January when they're trying to make a promotion push themselves. I've heard people talk about Harrison's development, if Everton can use him, but I've not heard anyone talk about the ramifications or the impact of what that does to Preston and their willingness to partner with us again in the future. I think the relationships are really important in football. They're really important in every business. And I would be afraid of burning a relationship with Preston by pulling
well, and that could be true. And I think Corey's probably the one that's been watching how their squad's going and how they value him more than anyone else in our fellow Everton unit here. But the short is, I don't think we consistently would utilize him enough in our current position to do more with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get out of here. Any final thoughts, Chris?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us.
And yeah, I could see us winning, but I wouldn't get too excited. But enjoy the match, everyone, and I'll see you at final whistle.
Up the Toffees.